coming to you from an amazing Jerusalem, Israel. And we are at the Garden Tomb. Garden Tomb is the second option of the Tomb of Jesus. Yes, we do have two tombs of Jesus in Jerusalem. One of them, I'm sure that most of you already knows, it's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is inside the city, and you can see the walls right there. From the 4th century, this is what so many believes in. But
I looked at one of the gardeners and we were sorting that out. I've never seen that happen before.
that's a big rib, then I will want to disturb them. But we know that the Jews cannot be buried inside the city. And the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is at the center of the city. From here, it's difficult to see the domes of the city, but you can see the wall, and it's actually that way, right? The building that's not so far away from here. Then the Protestants decided that if the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is not only at the center of the city, Times Square of the city, and divided to so many Christian orders, they said, all right, something is wrong here. We must look for something else. Then Charles Gordon at the 19th century went outside the walls to look for another possibility. Guess what? He found one. You can hear the bus station. We will talk about it soon. He found something that looks like it. First of all, you're looking at the Golgootha, the Calvary, a skull. And although it's difficult to see here, let me show you a picture from the 19th century. You can see the two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And you can see that it was on the main road. The people actually walk here. You can see some camels. And until today, it's a very important place. And as you can see, central part of the center. It's one of the center of the city. Then you can see the eyes and the nose and the mouth. It's just beneath. You cannot see it right there. Then in that case, they found a place that looked like a skull. And then they asked themselves, what about garden of a rich man? You know that Jesus was buried in Joseph of Arimathea garden. It is in front of you, beautiful garden. And later on, they found the tomb himself. Then they will never say this is the tomb of Jesus, but they will try to convince you that it is the tomb of Jesus. Now, a lot of my friends are, and I don't want to disturb them, that visiting that place are annoyed by the idea that that place is next to the garbage area and the central bus station. This is the Palestinian bus station. But I want you to understand, and let's go back to the ancient tomb. You can see that it was next to a main road. And where are you going to crucify someone? Next to the main road. The idea is to spread the message. If you will do that, they will crucify you. Then in that case, Jesus has an unseen list. Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. The Jews were already, had already king. It was crowned by the Romans, and the only one who can crown someone as a king were the Romans. Then in that case, King Herod was the king at the same time. That if Jesus said, I'm the king, he's a sinner in a way. Then another question, where he was crucified? On top of the Golgootha? Or next to the Golgootha? According to so many art, it was on top of it. But if you read the book of John, you will say that a place called skull, but it didn't say that he was crucified on top of it. Then in that matter, we believe, or here they believe, that he was crucified at the skull and not on top of it. Because if you want to see the sin list, You won't be able to see it from here. Then here it is. I will take you from here to see the tomb via the garden. Then please wait with me. Well, welcome back again. We are at the garden tomb. And let's say 200 meters, 600 feet from the Golgootha itself. And you can see the most beautiful garden here. Look how beautiful it is. Is that a garden of Joseph of Arimathea? Might be. If you're thinking about the city, can we build a huge garden inside the city, which is so crowded, so expensive, so many things to see there, so many synagogues, so many places, a lot of people visit? That is rare. Then in that case, we are so close to the city, and the garden tomb is garden of Joseph of Arimathea. And to show you that it was a rich man, there's a huge cistern. Then suddenly they took the picture. I wanted to show you the picture, but you can see the light and the ladder. Then you can understand that the one who had that garden must be a rich man. It's or that it's owned by an institute or by a rich man. And next to it, we know that he built himself a tomb for his family, and the Jews have been buried. Can be buried in the garden. First of all, it's out of the city, but secondly, it's a private tomb. Then I can see that there's a big line to the tomb himself, but you can see that we're heading there, and that is the tomb. Let's talk about the outside side of the tomb. It was a cave. And I must say that the tomb that you're going to see is more likely from the first temple time. The Jews at the second temple time period, the time of King Herod temple, been buried in a different way, but it's still a Jewish tomb. Then you can see the cave, and because a tomb is not a clean place, not a pure place, and people have been dead there. To the right, look at that, you can see a kind of a tunnel. They take all the impure thing outside them. The tomb itself will be purer. In a regular tomb, the time of Jesus, people were buried in niches, kuchim in Hebrew, and after they've been buried and sealed, and someone else died, they used to open one of the kuchim, their niches, and took the bones out. The bones were put in those small ossuaries. Here it is. And then next to the tomb, family tomb, you can find kind of a storeroom for that thing. And now you can bury it someone else. The Bible told us that Jesus was buried in a tomb that never been used before. It means that it was kind of a new one, and no one been buried there before, and those boxes, ossuaries, weren't used at that time. Then I'm sure that if you will look for more tombs, you will find some, and maybe we will find a tomb that Joseph of Arimathea built for his family, because that is for Jesus. The only thing that is missing here is the rolling stone, but you can see the tunnel right there, and there's a rolling stone. People are sitting there and don't want to disturb them. Right here. It's not the original one. Then in that case, let's wait until they will enter to the tomb, and then we will be able to do that. One thing that I must tell you, there's so many debates. Is that a tomb or not? People It's okay to believe that that is the tomb. It's okay to believe that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the tomb. But please try to be gentle when you are sending your response. It's a belief. I wish that we could find something that said, this is my tomb, Jesus, but we didn't find it. Anyhow, those two are close to each other, then in that case, it's not a problem at all.
The empty tomb was found in 1867. It was found when a man was doing an excavation, he was looking for water cisterns here, and in the process he finds the tomb. And after he found the tomb, when they began the excavations officially here in 1891, here in this place, they uncovered something that was a mystery to many people. They uncovered in this place the remains of a Byzantine era church that was built here in the 5th century. And now this is, a debate among, scholars as to why they chose the place to worship Jesus here. Why they built a church, why they built a double ecclesias in front of an ancient sepulchre, that is unknown to many people. But we do see that the place was used as a place of worship in the Byzantine period. In fact, there was a mosaic that was found in front of the tomb, and there are other symbols that were left by the Byzantine Christians in the 5th century. When the church was destroyed, that's difficult to know for sure. The speculation is that it was destroyed in the 7th century, but we do see that the place was used as a significant place of worship in the Byzantine period. Now friends, when you go inside the tomb, you will see that the tomb is divided into 2 chambers. This is an ancient tomb that it is at least 2,000 years old. Well, what do I mean by at least? Well, there's still a debate as to what the age of the tomb truly is. Some people believe that it was from the 1st century. Some people believe that it was from the 7th century before Christ. And there are different arguments for both opinions, for both views.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I have a driver waiting for me.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look and go.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. You're amazing.
All right. Well,
Thank you. I'm
enjoy.
sorry to-
No problem. So the tomb is divided into 2 chambers. The first chamber, the one you will be going into, was known as the preparation room, and it was also known as the mourning chamber. Here they will prepare the body for burial, and here the family would have the mourning ritual. And then they will transfer the body to the second chamber to the right, which is the burial chamber, where you can see 1, 2, 3 burial places. This was a family tomb. This was an ancestral sepulcher that belonged to a wealthy person. Not only because of the structure or the style of the tomb, but also because of the content that we see in this property and the location of the property in relation to the original alignment of the walls from the time of Jesus. Now, friends, we can continue on and on and on talking about historical facts and archaeological elements, but at the end of the day, today, you're coming to visit an empty tomb. For he is not here, for he is risen. And I believe that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, died on the cross for my sins, paying the price that I couldn't pay. And I believe that he was buried, and on the 3rd day he was risen from the dead. And friends, he was risen from the dead, and he's alive today to give new life to those who put their trust in what he has done for us at the cross of Calvary. And friends, at this point, you may visit the tomb. Please watch your steps as you walk down. Watch your head and watch your steps as you go into the tomb. And as you come out of the tomb, you're welcome to take as many pictures as you want. Now, if you have any questions, I'm going to be standing by the entrance there. So you're welcome to come. And if you have any questions, if you want to know more about Jesus, I'm also there at the gate for that also. So friends, welcome to the empty tomb.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. You're very welcome. Enjoy. God bless you. בבקשה.
And here you can see 2 more things. First of all, you can see the rolling stone, which which is not the original one, as you can understand. But it was, I can show you where it was. And another thing that you can see from there is the adoration. Remember the boxes, special boxes that they used to put the bonds over that? Then here it is. Now, when the tomb is empty, let's go in. Oops, be careful. That's for the Rolling Stone.
This is all original.
Yes. Yes. The Rolling Stone is not the original. That is the weeping chamber, the first part that he actually mentioned. And here you can see 3 places to put the body. One here, another one here, and one there. Why do you think that actually they believe that that is Jesus? First of all, when the book actually mentioned when they actually entered the cell, immediately that he wasn't there. In that case, they're supposed to see the body of him. But usually when they're building tombs, they actually measure the body of the future dead. And in that tomb, you can see in that part, they actually edit it. They had to curve it. Then it might be because Jesus wasn't fit the tomb himself. Then here it is. And when he mentioned the Byzantine church, that is the cross that they actually found here. And the most important thing here is you can see the name of Jesus above, and the lower part is Alpha and Omega. And the first one and the last one. Now, purity. The tomb is not pure. It's not a clean area in a way for the Jews. Then you can see here a window that takes all the impure things outside. And maybe even the soul, because the Jews believe that 3 days later, the soul of the body actually leaves the body. And the most beautiful thing here is that sometimes he's not there, he's not here, because he is risen.
Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea brought the body of Christ as rolled up, and obviously full of blood and the sweat and the death, and they just laid the body there. This is the place where the body will be laid, not just of Christ, of any person. And then that's why this is called the wailing chamber. That's where the family, if we were the family, we will get together here to cry for the dead one and say farewell. They will clean the body, put some ointment, some oil, and perfume, and then the body will be placed in one of those places here. And if this was finished, this tomb was finished, we'll have another one like that on the other side. Okay? According to the Gospel, Mary Magdalene came very early in the morning with another woman before sunrise. Okay? Obviously, she hadn't been able to sleep through the night. I mean, the whole thing was absolutely crazy. I mean, it's very difficult for us to get into the mind of the apostles and the women. Okay? Christ is saying that he is the Messiah, he is God. And then we see God on the cross. Right? So, obviously this is a massive shock. So they come here, Mary Magdalene comes here, according to the Bible, and she look here. That's where, the body should be there where you are. And there is no body. So the obvious thing to do, according to the Gospel, and that's what he said, is to look at the side. Or maybe somebody has moved it. And on the other side, well, the Bible says that there is an angel. And the angel said, he is not here, for he has risen. Okay? So it's a shock for these women. Jesus had spoken about these things, but he hasn't clicked yet in their mind. I mean, wow, yes, now we understand that Jesus said that. So Mary Magdalene runs quickly to the house where the disciples are hiding, the men are hiding.
Been there today?
And Peter and John don't believe Mary Magdalene. So they come running. The Bible says that John ran faster than Peter. So John comes in and then Peter comes in, and obviously they say what Mary has said is true. And then over the next 40 days, Jesus appears to the disciples and all the people, hundreds of people, through those 40 days, just to show evidence that it's not just Mary Magdalene or some disciples who gone crazy, but it's a wide number